Hello and welcome to the IDEM Risala Update Poll Talk. The fifth phase of the marathon Lok Sabha elections in India is currently happening. We are halfway through the polling. 49 seats across the country are going to polls in this election, in this phase. And we have a large number of seats from India's most populous state, Uttar Pradesh. A significant number of states are going to polls in West Bengal, and as well as a number of states and a few seats are going to polls in Bihar. So this poll talk will essentially look at the field situation in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and West Bengal. It's a focus discussion, and we have with us Sheetal P. Singh, senior journalist and founder of Satya Hindi news portal, and Suvojit Bagchi, again a senior journalist and a political commentator who has worked with very big important organizations like the Hindu, BBC, etc. So I welcome both of you to the talk. And Sheetal is actually on the ground. He has since morning. He has watched the polling in the key constituencies of Raebareli and Amethi, as well as Sultanpur. And Suvojit Bagchi is now based in Kolkata. Sheetal, I'll start with you. So, what have you seen on the ground today, and what is your general impression as to how the election is progressing in Uttar Pradesh?
See, since morning I was in Amethi and Raebareli. Now I am coming back from Raebareli. I am on the way to via Amethi to my home district, Sultanpur. So I went to almost more than half a dozen, say, polling booths in Amethi and similar number in Raebareli. What I found that it's in Amethi, on polling booths where Hindu voters are in majority, or you can say who are Hindu polling booths, there is a quite equal level of fight between both the main contestants, the Congress and the BJP one. BJP is better organized. Their booths were better managed. Their workers were available everywhere we went, and in comparison to that, Congress was not that kind of organized lot, but voters have selected. In most of the cases, we found that voters' enthusiasm didn't affected by this kind of organizational network. Many voters we encountered with after they come out of the polling booth, we find that at least, if not 50%, 45% amongst Hindu voters are simply voting for Congress also.
So what you say is that the normal Hindutva polarization that BJP was able to manage in the last two elections in UP is not manifest in Amethi this time. That's what you say.
It was not there. And we also did not find any Modi wave or anything of like that, or Ram Mandir wave, which is nearby. So what we found that because there are a sizable number of Muslim votes in this both the constituencies, and there is no friction amongst them. So it appears that it is going to be in favor of Congress in both the seats. In Raebareli, it is more visible, more vocal from all sides, even in Hindu voters, and Muslim voter, and everybody. In Amethi, it is a little tough, you can say, but the calculations are such. Further, the Dalit voters, that is the main thing. The Dalit voters are shifting from BSP to Congress, are visible everywhere. Even I have some samples, other correspondents and the reporters noted that some videos are already there. So the people from BSP, this is a big thing actually. This may change a lot in both, not only in both these seats, but there are other 14 seats, out of which BJP cornered 13 seats in the last 2019 election. Only one Raebareli seat was with, or you can say with Congress or today's Gathbandhan. So there were no seat for BSP or SP or anybody. So if this churning is taking place everywhere else also, like Dalit voters are shifting from BSP to SP or this Gathbandhan, and amongst normal Hindu voters, this Gathbandhan is fighting at half level, then the election will, I don't know where it will land up on the counting day, but definitely BJP will not have the tally of 13 out of 14 with it on 4th of June.
Okay. Suvojit, let me come to you. What is the situation in Bengal as the counting, as the polling happens for the fifth phase?
Well, the one factor which is, of course, always discussed, and it's a major issue in Bengal, which is about the poll violence. And as we have seen in the past, that on the polling days, there is substantial violence, and many deaths also have happened in the past. But compared to that, today and in the past, and the last four phases, we have seen relatively calm voting, in the sense there have been incidents of violence and complaints and this rigging or whatever you call it, and then EVM malfunctioning and all that. But it has not gone out of control, in the sense that no party has really complained that they have been completely pushed out of the like it happened in Panchayat elections in Bengal, that they've been pushed out of the fray or something like that. No, nothing of that sort. It is reasonably peaceful. So also it is today. It is not that bad. And well, it is not happening today in Calcutta. It is happening, in just outside Calcutta, in the districts. There are 7 seats, out of which 3 were with the BJP in the last election, and they are still strong in those 3 seats, I think. Particularly the one which is of interest is the seat called Bonga, which is the North 24 Parganas district, which is bordering Bangladesh. Now, this is a seat where you have a large number of refugees, you can say, who came to India a long time back. And these are the people who have been supporting the implementation of CAA, that is the Citizenship Amendment Act. And there have been a great support. But what is interesting is, as much as I know, so far, none of them have applied after 1.5 months, or actually 2 months, since the act has been implemented and the rules been framed, and nobody has applied from Bengal, which is slightly surprising. I mean, it is actually greatly surprising, because there's a lot of hue and cry about this particular act in Bengal and in Northeast. And I do not think that there is anybody from Assam, or maybe 1 or 2% from Assam have applied, and there is absolutely no one from Bengal. So, and now
but this issue was supposed to give BJP big benefits in this election. In fact, BJP leaders in Delhi were claiming that they will go from 18 seats to 25 seats in this election, at least 25 seats, because of this issue. So if you're saying that this does not seem to have become an election issue, or people have not even applied, what does that mean?
Well, if you look at these particular voters, I mean, the refugee voters, they are from a particular caste, which is called Nomoshudra, which is a scheduled caste, and a particular sect of that caste called Motua, who are basically taking it forward. Now, these, they have substantial vote in at least 3 seats, of which 2 are actually going to polls today. And they have been polling for the BJP for the last couple of elections, both Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha. This time, that is something that everybody is watching, like, how much of that vote moves back to Trinamool Congress from the BJP. And if it does, then surely BJP, out of the 3 seats that they got, which is where these particular vote, people who came from outside, I mean, their vote is important, or people came from outside in the sense they came here long time back. It is not that recently they have come. So, but this is a major issue in Bengal, at least till last election. In this election also it is an issue, but it has to be seen now whether that vote moves back to Trinamool Congress, because nobody has yet applied, or they stick to BJP. That we do not know, but it seems that they are not as jubilant as they were before the act was actually implemented.
See, in UP and Bihar, what we are seeing is that the India Alliance's campaign on the constitution, saying that the BJP, if the BJP's 400 plus slogan was essentially to dramatically alter the constitution, change the constitution in a fundamental sense. Is that also having an impact on this Navashudra community? Is
I do not think this constitution is the main issue. I mean, if we look at the main issue of Bengal, I think it is largely one thing that is definitely a factor, that is, Trinamool Congress is in power for last 13 years. And there is substantial anti-incumbency against Trinamool Congress. Though it is not a Vidhan Sabha election, but there is anti-incumbency against Trinamool Congress there are several reasons for that. And the other important factor which I have noticed is, somewhat you can call it a Modi wave in 2019 or even 2014 in Bengal. That I do not see much of that Modi wave in Bengal as of now. I mean, I guess some of the seats that BJP has managed to win in the last election, it would be very difficult. They mainly got the seats in North Bengal, north of West Bengal. Now that is now where Trinamool has made inroads, and it would be difficult, I think, for them to hold on to those seats, though they may gain a few seats in South Bengal, which is the bigger part of Bengal in terms of seats and population. So that is a factor. The Modi wave is not there. But what is very significant, and this I have noticed in Bengal, and perhaps that is true, I'm not sure, of rest of India, that is, when we look at the middle class, I mean, people like us, the middle class and upper middle class, my friends, they were overwhelmingly voting for BJP and Mr. Modi in the last elections. But in this election, they are very active on social media. They are going all out against BJP and Mr. Modi. Whereas when I talk to people who are in the lower income bracket or those who are poor, they are still saying that he's a strong leader. I mean, there is no palpable resistance. Well, they're not necessarily against Mamata Banerjee. What they are saying is very interesting. They are saying, ये तो मोदी जी का वोट है, तो उनके खिलाफ कौन खड़ा होगा, वही तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर बनेगा. But when it comes to Didi, as in Mamata Banerjee, they said, ये तो दीदी का vote नहीं है. Didi's vote would be in 2026, the assembly election, and then we'll vote for Didi. So what is the problem? So that is somewhat, I spoke to about, I think, 25, 30 people in and around Calcutta and even outside Calcutta. And, a large number of people come here to work from both UP, Bihar, etc. I mean, the taxi drivers, particularly the working class, they have been saying this, that we are not against Didi, or we got this and that. Particularly people who are voters in West Bengal, they say, yes, she has given this subsidy and that. So we are not against her. But this is not her election. This is Modi's election. This is the lower income group, whereas the middle class, like my friends, who are very pro-Modi, this time I find them, they are, fairly reasonably anti-Modi.
Sheetal, Sheetal, this is a kind of contrast between, Suvojit has come up with a very interesting point. He says the middle class and maybe the lower middle class especially are moving against Modi in West Bengal, but and he says that the lower groups, the lower income groups, are with Modi strongly in this election. Do you see the same phenomenon in West Bengal or in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar? And you're talking about the movement of the Dalits from BSP to the Congress and Samajwadi Party. So that there seems to be the constitution factor, which I referred to earlier, that seems to be a very prominent factor in UP and Bihar. So how do you look at this?
Yes, this constitution and reservation factor is moving large sections of society, particularly SC, STs and OBCs, towards the Gathbandhan. And it is palpable, it is visible everywhere. People are leaving BSP and joining this Gathbandhan in the mid of the election. And even on polling booth, there is a video today moving around where a BSP cadre who was a booth agent for BSP have resigned at booth itself and said that I have to, Amina Amethi, and said I have to support because my community is supporting the constitution. And BSP can't fight. BSP is hands in glove with BJP. So even the reporter said that you may be punished for what you are uttering in front of a camera. He said let what he was there with BSP for last 20-25 years. They said let what she want to do, she can do, but I cannot get away from my community feelings and my community decision. So this is the scene happening in at least in Uttar Pradesh. In Bihar, because a large section of EBCs are with Nitish Kumar, and when he tilted, they found themselves in lurch. But most of them have joined him, and also because Modi's party was also targeting them since long, so they accumulated well in Bihar. And not like UP. In Bihar, this standing is not as positive as it is in UP. As
Okay,
per
that's
my
not
information. As per my
right.
information, I'm not sure that what I know is
The final
the
thing.
only correct thing. There may be some other information. So this is what happening in these large swaths of Indian populace, and
Right.
yes. But in this
It,
fifth phase, I may say very clearly that it's tough going for BJP in this election, and what they achieved in 2019 or even 2014, it is very difficult for them to retain with that.
This is a very crucial election for the BJP, this phase especially, because this is
Yes,
where they had made the maximum number of gains,
yes, yes.
maximum number of seats in the last elections.
And
So if
also
they are,
it is an election at Ayodhya. Again,
oh,
even
yeah,
that constituency is in danger to get lost, because in last election also it was not a very big difference between them and their opponent, the Gathbandhan, then between Sapa and Baspa, SP and
uh-huh,
BSP. So
yeah,
it was below 1 lakh, I think, 50, 60,000 something. So
hmm,
it was a close seat even then. But
right.
they may say that this time SP and PSP are apart and they are fighting with each other also. So that's why we have a better positioning. But facts are not like that. The fact on the field are that even Ayodhya, which is called as Faizabad, Sabha seat, is in danger for BJP.
Yeah, I had an interesting experience. Yesterday, I was in Ayodhya, and there were thousands of people who had gathered
Oh,
to go to the. Yeah. Yesterday, I was in Ayodhya, and then thousands of people have gathered to go to the Ram Temple and Hanuman Gadi. And before, and in front of Hanuman Gadi, some people were chanting Jai Sri Ram, but there were a group of Dalits who were also going to the temple. They were chanting Jai Bhim, Jai Samvidhan. And then
oh,
I asked in Hanumangadi, in front of Hanumangadi. So I asked them, how is it? हमारा तो आस्था तो अलग चीज है. Our faith is different, but our votes are different. This is what they were saying. So coming back to Suvojit, I have been speaking to some people, political analysts in West Bengal. They are saying that there is a revival of the Congress left alliance on the ground, and this is going to negatively impact the Trinamool counters, and it will boost the BJP. Do you see something like that?
No, this is very difficult. I mean, of course, if we talk about left, I mean, Congress has been centered around the middle Bengal, which is Malda and Murshidabad. Their seats have been coming for ages from those two districts. But we can now see on ground CPIM and the left front. I mean, they're campaigning. They won social media even in the last elections, but this time in their campaign, I can see substantial number of people, long rallies, people talking about them, etc. And that gives me an impression that they are going to pull more vote. I mean, generally speaking. But the vote, and I did an interview with Mr. Salim, the secretary in the state, that was
Yeah.
about a few months back. And he said categorically that, whenever there is deep polarization, very deep polarization on communal lines, it is the centrist parties like the Congress and the left parties which are going to suffer. It is always divided between Trinamool and the BJP in West Bengal, and perhaps by and large elsewhere also. Now, in this case also, firstly, the polarization, if we look at it, I mean, there is this communal thing going on. There's no doubt about it. But like last time when there was a Pulwama happened, and then the 2021 was a lot of this Hindu-Muslim thing happened. I mean, we see less of that. So that, and whenever that is less, the centrist space grows a little bit. So though the vote is mainly between two main parties here, which is BJP and the Trinamool Congress, I think left has a reasonable chance of not winning seats, but coming second. Now that is very important. If you come second, then there are some assembly seats where you are doing very, very well. And if your vote percentage improves, so that will give you a boost in 2026 elections, which is in
in this election, is it going to help the BJP?
Well, both ways. I mean, if they cut the Muslim vote, then it will help the BJP. If they cut the Hindu vote, see, essentially it is the anti-Mamata vote, which they will get. Now, anti-Mamata vote is BJP vote. So if they cut the anti-Mamata vote, is necessarily BJP vote. So, and if they cut the anti-Mamata vote, then it is the BJP vote that they're going to cut. But again, if they get substantial Muslim vote, which I'm not sure of at this stage, then it is going to trouble Mamata. But I still do not think that the Muslims, though there are grievances, very strong grievances against Trinamool Congress, they are finally not going to. And the Muslims, if you, in some cases, in some districts, there is en bloc voting. They are going to vote for Congress. Of course, Congress, they have voted last time also. They're going to vote. But I think at this stage, they have a good chance of coming second in quite a few seats. And
are they going to win some seats?
I think, the secretary, Mr. Salim, has a chance in Murshidabad seat. He has a chance. I mean, that's the kind of report that I have been getting. And there, Murshidabad is a big district with 3 Lok Sabha seats there. And this is where this coalition, or whatever you call it, not coalition, seat adjustment between Congress and the left has worked very well. They have campaigned from the beginning together. Salim and the Congress president Adit Chaudhary, they came together on stage and they were always looking, their body language was very friendly and they were both cooperating. And these things matter a lot, when last time it was all over the place. I mean, their understanding was looking very fragile. But this time, at least in Murshidabad, where their Congress is very strong and left earlier was very strong. So that's why I'm saying that seat left has a chance, and many seats they have, well, at least half a dozen seats, they possibly have a chance to come second. Which would definitely, I mean, if they split the anti-Mamata vote, then that will, but their rise will definitely
it is very difficult. It's very difficult to predict what actually will happen. So, Sheetal, the election commission figures so far is very interesting. The total percentage of votes which have been polled till 3 p.m. in all the 49 constituencies is 47.5%. Interestingly, West Bengal has 62.7% polling till 3 p.m. and UP has only 39%.
Yes.
So this is again an interesting comparison.
UP normally never poll more than 70%. It goes between 60, 70 somewhere, sometimes even lesser than that. So for UP standard, it is okay. But with Bengal, which polls nearly 80% in most of the elections. So it is as per their way of polling every time. In Bihar, it must be even lesser than UP, because most of their people go work for livelihood in different states and they never be available for voting and all that. So this reduces their number of vote share. In UP also there are migratory laborers, but not in that size. So the voting percentage looms somewhere around 60 plus minus 5%.
Oh, finally, give me a final take on given the you have closely observed polling in all the 5 phases. Give me a projection of the 80 seats as we go along, as of today.
To me, it appears that BJP may not cross 60 seats this time. Must be less than that, maybe even up to 50 seats, like that. and rest will go to the Gadbandhan because it's a one-on-one fight everywhere. BSP may come second in few seats, but very limited, maybe 1 or 2 seats. In my opinion, in the UP.
Okay, Suvojit, the same question to you. What is the overall picture in West Bengal? What is your take as the fifth phase polling is going on?
See, BJP is not coming across as more strong than last time. So they got 18 out of 42 in the last election, and which possibly is going to dip because their leadership is kind of, they have been fighting and they had problems with candidates and all kinds of things, and not possibly, I'm surely they cannot put up polling agents in 80,000 odd booths. So there is advantage to Trinamool Congress. But there is one thing that everybody talks about in Bengal and nobody writes because there's nothing to write about it because there's no evidence, which is the setting theory, which is the understanding between Trinamool and BJP. Now, this is something, it is it is not known at all to anyone. Only the left talks about it, but nobody knows. I mean, if you look at some of the candidates that Trinamool Congress has put up, I asked one small spokesperson, I mean, not very heavy spokesperson, but small spokesperson in Trinamool Congress, and they clearly had no idea why, you put up a candidate like Yusuf Pathan, who has absolutely no base, who is not from politics. Why you put up Kirti Azad, for example, against a seat which is possibly Trinamool could have backed? You have put up Kirti Azad against the ex-president of the BJP in the state. So these are the kind of question marks which are there. And as many have said, that in a very, very critical time of in this 1 year long history of India alliance, I mean, unfortunately, Trinamool Congress people will not like it, but the fact is, Ms. Banerjee has made certain statements which has only weakened, as much as I can understand, only weakened the alliance. It has not strengthened the alliance. So I wonder why she did that. Of course, I understand her compulsions also. She wants to do a bipolar elections. I mean, possibly that helps her. It has helped her in the past. But apart from this dark area, I mean, this is an area where we do not know. I mean, what has happened between the top leadership of both the parties. BJP on ground is not doing well. I mean, last time this wave, as I said, it was all Mr. Modi's wave, and this time definitely it is missing in Bengal.
Okay, thank you, Suvojit. Thank you, Sheetal. We'll come back. This, of course, this time after fifth phases polling, we have looked at two large important states, and of course, we will continue the poll talk conversation and look at other states, and of course, come back to both Sheetal and Suvojit in the future. Thank you very much.